Hello and welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Sidra Kennedy, and with me is Sidra Owens, the soon-to-be acclaimed writer. You just knew I was going to skip it this time. See, I did it different. Okay, so we're going to... Yeah, it's still fresh. Although some articles post this back in... some as March 8th, some says May 8th, so... I'm sure that's going to be used as timeline different, so it didn't happen, and it's a lie just to perpetuate the protest. I'm waiting on that. So I found some articles on this. Now, I'm not going to hide anything. That's not me. I was trying to find something else to watch, while I get my wrestling prepared to do for today. And I saw the headline on Graveyard Shift that a black man was hanged and whatnot. Yeah, and I was like, again? That's literally what I thought. Again? So I decided to go start looking at stuff. And I was doing some research. I was looking here and there on Twitter and whatnot. I usually don't do this, but I want to scour things since this is going to be the new hot topic. And I want to get ahead of a lot of the police lies and try to come at it from the point of view of people that are pretty much sick of that. And I want to get ahead of people that just can't help but when they read something or they listen to the TV, the news and stuff, they just go blank. And I don't know if you ever noticed that you do it, but you go blank and you just absorb what's said. And you just like, and you move on. You know? And you might have your little thing to say about it, but the thing is, you got to be able to do something about it. And the one thing that anyone and all of us can do, and this is true because I want to give you something tangible that you can do, that you can participate in right now. And what that is do not allow anybody to lie. You can call out people's bigotry, their racism, their mendacity. Call it out right then on the spot. I know we're all trained to be quiet, say nothing, pull back, hold back, and just let them do whatever. But no, call them out on it because they know what they're doing. And if they don't know and they're called out, maybe to give them time to think about it. Maybe they won't feel so entitled to be like, they called me out, that was wrong. Maybe they're right, but that was just wrong how they did it. Without thinking about the whole, it was wrong for me to do what I did in the first place. You know, two wrongs don't make a right, but it sure as shit is just. So, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna jump into this. First, I found a thing from NewYorkDailyNews.com, and I'm gonna read this, and then there is another one. So I'm going to read this, and I might have to just stop and debunk as time goes, okay? So just, hear me out. Give me a little bit of time. It's all good. All right. Sidra's here, so she's listening. She hasn't heard anything, and I haven't read anything. I've just been copying and pasting into Word documents so that I don't have to keep seeing these ads pop up, and I have to fight that so I can keep going. Okay. So with that out of the way, let me go ahead and get started. So, NewYorkDailyNews.com. Police said the man was found hanged on a tree in Atlanta's Piedmont Park early Thursday. The death of a man found hanged from a tree in an Atlanta park early Thursday has been referred to the FBI, Atlanta's mayor said. Security officers discovered the as yet unidentified black man, thought to be between 25 and 35 years old, around 5 a.m. near Piedmont Park's Charles Allen Drive entrance. According to the Atlanta Police Department, an emergency crew pronounced the man dead at the scene. Okay, before I read further, just know if the police are saying something, they're lying. Just know that. Just automatically know that. Okay? They're lying. And that's the whole point. You have to listen to the buzzwords. Authorities say, officers say, the police say, because they know that they have the authority over you. And you're going to go with authority. People always appeal to authority for something. And so they cater to that part of you. So keep that in mind, okay? When you're reading or listening and someone says, police says, or authority says, the police are lying. And if they are telling the truth, you got to wonder what they're leaving out. So keep that in mind. Okay? Let's see, smaller text. Police said the man was hanging by a rope from the tree, and investigators called the scene consistent with a suicide. Now, first thing is, there are people that do hang themselves in a sense of suicide. There are people that just cannot handle what's going on. They can't. The protest, the COVID, the president, the racist supremacy, the injustice to LGBTQ plus, all of this is right now, it all comes to a head. And that's Sidra's favorite line. It's going to come to a head. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening right now in this country of the United States of America.
A lot of people are struggling.
And it's coming to a head, and people got to face what they've always been espousing. They have to. You hate, people who are not cisgendered or whatnot. Okay, that is going to come out and you're going to get confronted on it. You don't like gays, lesbians, transgenders, none of that, but you're going to speak on it as if you're accurate and correct, and then you're going to get called out on it. And you're not going to change. You're just going to think they're being wrong to you, although what you're saying is hurting everybody else. See, when your rhetoric spews hatred and pain to someone else, you are wrong. And when your rhetoric is, we have to help these people, and we have to protect the harmless, the innocuous. And even if that comes at the expense of destroying, killing, murdering, jailing, shaming, shunning, whatever it is, those who are harmful, that's when you have a wrong for the right reason. Because they won't allow anything else. Decency, conversation, understanding, tolerance. They won't allow it. And they'll perpetuate their murder onto everyone else while everyone else takes a back seat and get murdered. Eventually people start fighting back. That's what happens. Okay, but this right here, no, there's nothing consistent with the suicide. Because if someone's going to kill themselves, they're not going to go out into a park at a tree and do it. Unless the ulterior motive is, I want to push this protest further at the expense of my own death. But I can honestly say that's not a black thing. That's just not a black thing. Is it possible? Yes. Everything is possible.
But it's not likely.
But it's not likely.
When it comes to public suicide, people usually do something like they'll step out in traffic, or they'll jump off something, or
OD and go lay somewhere, or shoot themselves in public, or on the phone with somebody, or cop death by cop.
But suicide is generally something that's, for lack of a better word, private. People go off alone somewhere secluded. A park's not secluded.
No, it's not. And you're not going to put yourself on display. No. When you put something on display, when you hang somebody, no, that's setting a statement. That's sending a message. That's the difference. And black people ain't going to hang themselves in public. That's not happening. It's not. Brooks was here, but they had to discover Brooks was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if y'all get that reference, you're awesome. Okay. Coroners plan to rule the death of suicide. They just plan to do it. Just think about that. Coroners plan to rule the death of suicide. Representatives of Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office said Thursday night. Mayor Reed asked FBI's help in Piedmont Park hanging investigation. Look quickly. Asking a racist group to investigate a race-related crime. No, it don't work. It's never worked. It just don't. It is not going to work. They're going to say it's a suicide, yada yada. They're going to go with the police department there, and that's it. Okay, now these are in quotes, so somebody's saying this. I am deeply saddened by the loss of a young man's life last night in Piedmont Park. This disturbing event demands our full attention. Mayor Kasim Reed said in a statement. The Atlanta Police Department is conducting robust investigations into his death, and I have asked to receive regular briefings on the status of the investigation. We have also referred the case to the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Yeah, so that's just full of shit. He's not saddened. They don't give a damn. Don't care. I don't care if this person's black. I don't care if this person's, anything, Haitian. It don't matter. No, anybody. Because those are the constant words of people in power. They always say that. I am deeply saddened. Or I'm deeply troubled. No, you're not. Stop lying. You don't give a fuck. You don't care. If you did, you would have literally said, we are going to put a lockdown in this park and other areas, and we're going to investigate this to the fullest. And if we find that this is foul play by police officers, not only will they be fired and prosecuted, but their chief will also be under scrutiny as well. That's what you do. I mean, you put a blowtorch. I mean, a big blowtorch to everything. Because you don't want something like this to happen again. That's what you do. And they're not doing it. It's just same old crap. We're saddened, we're hurt, and we're going to do everything possible to look into this. Yeah, just resign. That's what I say, resign. Reed noted investigators have found no evidence of foul play, but said he wants to state clearly and unequivocally that we will not prejudge the circumstances surrounding this young man's death. Yes, you will. You will go with whatever they say. You will go with what they say because you're in office and you got to protect your career on the necks of everybody else. That's just what's going to happen. Officials with the county medical examiner's office told the Daily News the man's name and other identifying information will not be released until his loved ones can be reached for notification. His name, Robert Fuller. That's his name. His cause of death is asphyxiation by hanging, and investigators uncovered nothing suggesting there was a struggle at the scene. And that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Alright? Mm-hmm. It's not to say that, because they'll say, okay, this investigators uncovered nothing. You're looking into it, right? So I can say you've uncovered nothing. And it goes into other stuff. I think it's still in this one. It might be another one. But when I get done with all this, if it's not said, I'm going to go back to, I'm going to recount what was said and other stuff that I looked up.
I'm are you still reading?
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm
almost done with this top section. Why?
Because I was gonna say something real quick, and then I gotta go because it's 8:04.
Okay, go ahead.
It's just, even if there was a suicide, what, did he walk from home? Is there a car? How did he get in the tree? Did he climb? Is there a ladder? Did he, build a table?
There's a lot of stuff that they point in there that I don't know if it's in this one or the next.
Okay.
But I'll get to that since you have to go to work. I'll get to that when I get done with this first article thing here. The man's death happened the day after 2 police shootings of African-American men on consecutive days in Louisiana and Minnesota. Social media users drew immediate comparisons between the deaths of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile and the man's hanging death, with some going as far as saying he had been lynched by the Ku Klux Klan. And I think this right here is somebody had there was a comment I think below it, but it said, just read that a black man was hung in Atlanta by Triple K. One other user wrote, and they're saying it's a suicide. Hashtag Piedmont Park. Okay, we're not gonna. I don't think we're going to get it in the next one. Okay, so look, what they said was they found a barrel, some kind of trash can barrel full of trash, and on the rim of this trash can barrel, which is probably just a metal barrel, there were footprints that matched the victims. So they say that he must have climbed up there, and that's how he was able to hang himself. He got up on there, and he hung himself, and then the barrel was kicked to the side, leaning against a tree. Also, it said that there was tree sap or whatnot on his clothes. Also, it said that his hands and feet had the markings of someone that would climb a tree. First of all, that's where it's too much, and you're full of shit. You're fucking lying. I used to climb trees when I was a kid. Consistently climb trees. I loved it. Alright? If I could go back in time, I'd slap me upside the head. Do you know what's in them trees, man? There's spiders and mice that'll crawl up under your skin and stuff, you damn fool. That's what I would do, but I would climb trees like crazy. And I'm talking about like barehanded, up a damn trunk, grab the sides, put your feet on it, hold tight, inchworm your way up, feet off and back on at a higher, push up with your legs, okay? I would do that, get to a branch, climb up to the branch, yada, yada, yada. That's what I would do. And you know what? You might have a little bit of scrapage or whatnot on your fingers. You know what? You know what also does that? When someone grabs you and pushes you at a tree and you're trying to push away from that tree and they got you head first on that tree and they're holding your body against it while they get things prepared so you can't fight back. Yeah. And you're trying to push off that tree. Yeah, you're going to have the same type of quote-unquote markings. All right? And sap on him from the tree. I would be like, show me where the sap was on the tree, because you know how you get sap from a tree? You got to puncture roughly 1/4 of an inch in there. You got to break that surface.
Some trees ooze sap, but you got a point. It doesn't sound right.
No, it don't.
Sound right.
And then his feet, the shoe markings on the rim. Literally, his shoe markings on the rim of something that isn't going to really hold foot markings anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the trash can the can wasn't knocked over or anything like that, but it was just laying there against it. They're gonna not test for fingerprints or anything like that. No, they didn't go with that. They didn't test for fingerprints. Is it just his fingerprints? Did they even test anything else? Was it the solid struggle? Look at the ground. Could you see where his feet were trying to push away from something? No, they didn't go with that. They're not trying to do that. It's stuff like that.
But how did he get there? Did he walk to the park with a rope?
There you go. How did he get there? And then there was somebody that posted a thing that said that this park is where the Ku Klux Klan is trying to get their resurgence into power anyway. I don't know if any of y'all can hear Sidra. She's in the distance and talking. She never really pays too much of mind about her voice and distance.
I have been speaking up.
Okay. I'm just saying. So, police, they are going to lie. They're going to lie. Like that dude they shot in the back 3 times when he grabbed their taser after they bullied and harassed him. He was asleep. Wake him up. Hey, man, you got to go. You got to drive home. You all right? You okay? Yeah, you sure? Let me look at your eyes. All right, all right. They dilating well within the light and stuff like that. All right, you got to go. I
got to get clocked in, y'all. Bye.
She's got to go to work. So I'm not going to have Sidra for the rest of this. So even though none of y'all are really going to see this at all, I'm just reducing it just to me now. Took away host of Sidra. Okay, so I'm going to get down to the next one, which is AtlantaBlackStar.com. Reports of a black body found hanged in a tree at Atlanta's Piedmont Park began circulating on social media early Thursday morning. Amid recent high-profile incidents of violence against African-American men, many were quick to deem the tragedy a modern-day lynching. But spokesman for the Atlanta Police Department, Donald Hanna, said it's nothing of the sort. Just think about that. A lot of people say, yeah, modern-day lynching. You're going to get that anyway. That's what happened to George Floyd, a modern-day lynching. That's what happened to Trayvon Martin. That Trayvon Martin is what indicated what was going to happen today, all those years ago. That's what Trayvon Martin was. It was literally to say, I just killed this black person. I am a vigilante, and I just killed this black person. And not only did the police not confiscate my gun, but they walked me uncuffed in their department after even telling me on the phone to not pursue him. After they told me repeatedly not to pursue this man, and I did. I fought him, I shot him, sent him ass in the chest, put him down. Because he was attacking me after I harassed and then physically got involved with him. And then you can hear Trayvon hollering and screaming for help. But just like when it comes to voting for somebody that's going to actually do something, nobody answered the call. And that boy died. Family forever destroyed and changed wrongfully because we as a country do not chastise or demonize the most harmful people on these lands. And that's why we have what we have. You want Mayberry, but Mayberry is only good if it's just white people. That's the problem. And that sucks. Check yourself, because all we're doing is wrecking ourselves. If you understand that, where that came from, then you got something going. Now, to keep going with this, according to authorities, keep that in mind, according to authorities, the person found was the victim of an apparent suicide. Atlanta Police Department told Atlanta Black Star via Twitter that officers were called to the Charles Allen entrance of the park just before 5 o'clock Thursday morning when they discovered a man's body hanging from a tree by a rope. He was pronounced dead at the scene. And in quotes, there was no discernible signs of a struggle or foul play, Hannah said. A Fulton County medical examiner concurred that the death was consistent with a suicide. Yeah. According to a direct message from Atlanta PD's official Twitter account, the individual found hanged was an African American male, aged 25 to 35. Medical examiner Hager assumed custody of the unidentified body. The message stated, Atlanta Crime Scene Unit L. Robertson photographed the scene. Final cause and manner of death are pending autopsy. So, they say it's a suicide. They know it's asphyxiation, strangled, rope. They're already, from one article, saying that they're prepared to say, hey, it's a suicide. We're going to just say that. We are prepared to tell you it's a suicide. Okay? But final cause and manner of death. Look, you can examine that as asphyxiation. You can examine the rope was around his neck. But no one's caring about who did it. Who did it? Because let me tell you what's missing. Let me tell everybody exactly what's missing from this. If this man really hung himself, he should have rope fibers on his hands. To hold that rope properly and tie it right and make sure it's on tight so that it doesn't, so that you don't slip and fall and all you come out with is a burn on your neck. You're going to have to pull that rope. You're going to get some rope fibers stuck in your fingers. No one is talking about rope fibers in this man's hands. Nobody. So that's the problem. Where are the rope burn? Where are the fibers? Huh? Where's that? See, they're not going to check that rope. They're not going to examine the rope because they find out that that rope has the DNA of some white people. They ain't going to be too happy. That's the other problem. I can promise you that. And if this was a suicide, if this guy actually somehow did commit suicide like this, without messing up, without any rope, anything on his hands or anything, then this guy is outright amazing and he went beyond the call of duty. But he had his gear on him, his backpack, his headphones. This guy wasn't committing suicide. This guy was attacked. This guy was hung. This man was murdered and lynched in a racist country by racist people. That's what happened. Because you're going to lynch, because anybody that did a lynching and anyone that's going to kill somebody, they're going to take something from them. You can easily take those earbuds or headphones, wipe them down with alcohol and stuff, remove all fingerprints and stuff and say they were yours. Because everything's a dime a dozen now. You have that ability to do that. But they left his stuff. They didn't touch him. And if you're going to commit suicide, if anything you're going to take is just identification. So people can know who you are. And you're probably going to have a note of some kind. Somebody's going to have some signs. They're going to say, hey, this person was showing signs. They were drawing, bad pictures, dead bodies. They kept drawing people looking unwell and unrested. That those are little signs. Okay? And they need help. Those are literally basic signs. Okay? Anyway, many users took to the Twitter space to express their outrage. Wait a minute, what did I last read? Okay, final cause and manner of death are pending autopsy. Okay. Although officials have ruled the man's death a suicide, Black Twitter isn't buying it. Many users took to the Twitter sphere to express their outrage over the continued violence against black bodies, citing the Ku Klux Klan's recent efforts of restoration. That's what I mentioned earlier. Some have even speculated that this modern day lynching was their doing. Piedmont Park is also a known meetup spot for the infamous hate group. So just keep that in mind. Okay, that's all I got right now about that, what I've copied and pasted. But yes, that's it. The Triple K, the Ku Klux Klan, that's their meetup spot, and this black dude is there? Really? Seriously? And look, a lot of people might go to parks and stuff by themselves, and they might go and just listen to music or whatnot. But let me tell y'all something. Black people ain't going to do this at 5 a.m. They're not going to do this in the mornings after 12. They're not going to do this at night at 10 o'clock. Black people ain't going to the park like that. They might hang out somewhere like at a lit general store or something, and then he's probably on his way home by himself, and then some good old boys grab him and say, we're going to teach you protesters and stuff a lesson. And that's usually what happens. No one's talking about if there's any rope fibers in his hands or on his skin other than his neck. They're not examining the rope. They're not checking that for DNA. And they're wrong. They're absolutely wrong. And anyone that is trying to say that this was suicide, until further absolute notice, for you to say that, you're a racist. And if you black, you still a racist. You hate your own kind. You hate your own people. You hate your own family. You look in the mirror and just wish you could scrub it off of you, don't you? That's you. You go fuck yourselves. Every single one of you Uncle Ruckus motherfuckers can go fuck yourselves. This person died. This family is destroyed. And that's PTSD that nobody's going to think about. Every black person usually has to give their child or family member or friend that talk. Keep your ass safe. Watch your six. Look around you. Don't be going to dark places and stuff. Don't go places by yourself like that. Even with 2 or 3 of you, they can still lynch you, and they have. White people don't get that talk because mostly white people are doing that. Not all white people, just the ones doing it. And the ones that are turning their backs to it. And the ones that are apathetic to it. They're all capitulating all of this. They are a part of it. They're lynching every single one of us, just like those KKK members. Because they aren't trying to stop it. They aren't shunning. They aren't shaming. They aren't doxing. They are allowing it. They're just as evil and vile as those that are committing these crimes. Just like the one that was on Floyd's neck. The ones standing around are just as bad. They're the apathetic. They're the ones that were there. They could have stopped it, and they didn't. They stopped the people from stopping it. They're capitulant. They should all be in prison or shot and killed. Matter of fact, turn it on them. Since they all say that line, police say that line, don't give me a reason. They love it. Don't give me a reason. Officer safety. Shots fired. All of those lines. Yes. You know something? What if it turned on them? What if people started arming themselves so when the police came, they started shooting back? They started shooting the police. What then? What if people start throwing tear gas at the police? When the police throw tear gas, they throw it right back at the police. Take that. What if they did that? What if? I'm not saying it should happen, but if the fact of me saying what if scares you, you need to reevaluate yourself. Because that fear is what has always been perpetuated on black and brown people. Native American, Latinos, Hispanic, Asian, Black, it don't matter. It's always been a part of our lives, one way or the other. And all we've ever had to separate each other, all the minorities, the only thing that we ever had that separated one from the other was who got it worse. When we should have been saying the fact that we get it at all, we got to unite against all that keep doing it to us. You want to really unite? It ain't about a protest. It's about the rest of your life. It's about every single day you breathe. Who's your friend? Who's not your friend? They're a minority, but they got their little privileges, then they're fucked in the head. Everyone should be able to go out and grill and chill together. We did with my Mexican neighbors. For their little girl's birthday party. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was awesome. And it sucks that we're in a country where they're most likely taught that I'm the enemy. You know, that's what they're taught. I went over there and I was humble. I was polite. I questioned things, you know. I did what I could. I was a part of something. And I've never been truly a part of anything. So that felt beautiful at that time. But that time has come and gone. And even though we're no more than 30 feet apart, we're still worlds away from each other. We need to unite properly. If I saw somebody go to my neighbor's yard, I would tell my neighbors, hey, that person was there. I see who goes up and down the street. If I see who goes up and down the street, goes into their yard, when I've never seen it before, I'm going to let my neighbors know. I'm going to be my neighbor's keeper. I trust my neighbors about 60% with my daughter. She plays on their trampoline and stuff. I trust them. She hasn't done it in a very long time because of the outbreak. But there's trust. And that's what you call a slow-growing family thing right there. You don't have to talk the same language to speak the same language. Just keep that in mind. I just don't know what else to say. I'm just tired of this shit. And there's nothing I can do except tell you all to not turn a blind eye to it. Do not let them lie to your face. Do not accept their lies as a truth. Don't accept it. And don't cow down. And don't dismiss it with your opinion. Well, that's just your opinion. Don't be dismissive. You know the police are lying. Every time there's a black person killed, they charge. It was a suicide. Every single one. They attacked. Fuller didn't attack. Fuller was attacked. Floyd, he didn't attack. He was attacked. Castile, he didn't attack. He was attacked. They all were. And when you turn it back on them, they'll cite you as the enemy. Matter of fact, let me just say this in closing. The fact that you are all saying that it's wrong, you have been demonized. So you're saying you are all wrong for murdering unarmed black people and other minorities. And they're calling you demons because you're saying that it's wrong to kill harmless people. Think about that. Cedric Kennedy, Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.